Hello, how are you today? I am sitting here doing some work on my own business and thinking about my mindset and how I'm uh, trying to create a growth mindset about improving my business and moving forward and learning from my mistakes and thinking, well, if I made a mistake, what can I do differently to move forward? So I thought about, that might be a great thing to share with you. Um, I love a book by Carol Dweck. It's called Mindset, and it's about the growth mindset compared to the fixed mindset. And the idea of the growth mindset is someone with a growth mindset looks at mistakes and failures as opportunities to grow, and they don't feel that their abilities are limited. They feel if they put the work in, even if they aren't maybe the best at something, they can get better and improve, and not look at themselves as a limited, you know, limited in that area or a limited being. And someone with a fixed mindset feels that, they have certain talents, that's it, that's their abilities, and they can't improve and grow, and they get very discouraged by mistakes. So, and some of us can have fixed and growth mindsets in different areas, right? So we may have a very expansive growth mindset in one area, and then maybe in a different area, you know, kind of being more closed down and limited. And many of these fixed mindsets come from limiting beliefs we've learned in our lives that have been modeled to us by others and society or whatever, and done with not necessarily any bad intentions, but just, again, often people model to us their limiting beliefs, we take them on, and it just goes on. So we can change our mindsets. So if you have a mindset of of that's fixed, in that, when you have mistakes and you have failures, you really get upset and beat yourself up for them and get frustrated and angry and or fearful or anxious or whatever your behavior pattern may be around that. It can change, because what that is just a habit loop that's been created, that your brain has created, and the brain can create new habit loops and more desirable ones, and it just takes time. It's not someone with a fixed mindset, you're not, that's not an innate thing about you. It's just something you've learned to do, and you can just as easily, it'll take a little work, but you can change your mindset to more of a growth mindset, and to look at all of the mistakes that you make, when they happen, really lean into them and be, curious, like, well, what happened there? So in your riding, say, you have go around a course of jumps, for instance, and have some distances that weren't so good, you know, um, and instead of beating yourself up for them, could you instead, you know, if it, and again, I would say this, can actually do this while you're riding on course, and then think, what do I need to do to fix something for the next jump? But if that's not so easy for you right away, and if you tend to have a lot of self-judgment around making mistakes when you're riding, when you're done, stop and take a breath and give yourself permission to let go of being stressed out about it, and look at, first, I would suggest, look at what went well, so that you shift your mind to thinking about the good things and what went well. And then look at those, distances, say, that you didn't do so well with, and think, hmm, how could I change them? What did I do when it went well? When the distances came up really well, how did it feel? What was I doing? How were my turns? Was I straight to the jump? Did I have a good canter? Whatever it may be. And then go, when they didn't go well, what was different? And, oh, I noticed a difference. If I just work on that, I did it once well or twice well or whatever, and I didn't do it well here and here. So if I just work on that, I can fix it. I don't need to beat myself up about it. I can be curious about what went wrong, can be curious about how I could fix it, and then go in and be excited about creating that change. So you can actually bring excitement. You can let mistakes and failures be, make you like, okay, here, that's cool. Now I can learn to do this and change this. And if you can approach all of your writing and actually everything you do in life that way, it does so many things. It doesn't mean you're going to be perfect all the time. It doesn't mean you're not going to continue to have mistakes and failures. It just means you look at them with more lightness, with more expansiveness, and an open way of being instead of that closed down, tight way that you feel when things go wrong. You feel more open and you look for the opportunities. Okay, something, even like crisis in life, something went really bad today and my life is falling apart. It's not so good. And it may be a really tough time, but then are there opportunities where you can learn and grow from this while it's happening, or at least help yourself move forward, right? So looking at mistakes, failures, struggles as ways of growth, as and learning to get, work on that growth mindset and open yourself up and feel expansive and embracing what's happening instead of tight and closed and fearful about mistakes and fearful about what's wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you. Everyone makes mistakes. It's just, what can I do to fix them? What can I do next time to make it better? You know, and if I make that same mistake again, okay, well, there's that pattern that I keep doing. It's okay. I can change it. It'll take a little time, but I can change it. So think about that. Really think about how you can, embrace. So embrace the mindset of growth and openness and expansion and joy about what you're doing and curiosity and being intrigued by what's going on. I highly recommend reading Carol Dweck's book. And again, I also talk about another favorite book of mine, Unwinding Anxiety by Dr. Justin Brewer and his apps and things. All of those things are so helpful. And if you want help with your riding, working through some of your struggles in your riding or in your business, your equestrian business, or training, teaching your students and helping you through some of those, I'm really happy to work with you. Please reach out to me and at Lisa at mindfulequestrian.com or message me on the page and see if we can work together and work on helping you develop more of a growth mindset and more of an open and joyous way of looking at your mistakes and failures so that you can really grow and and have joy and build confidence in your riding. And it really helps you build confidence in all areas of your life, whether it be in your personal life, in your business, in your riding, in your career. It can really help you in many ways. So that's my tip for the day. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope to see you again soon. Have a wonderful day. We've had some beautiful weather here. It's still really warm, but raining. But I'm kind of enjoying a day inside and relaxing and getting some things done and connecting with you guys. So I hope all is well and take care.